Welcome to our channel. We are sincerely trying to choose interesting stories, so we would really like to see your subscription.
I was brought up in an extremely conservative church where abortions were condemned. Divorce was unheard of, and infidelity was deemed evil. The heartbreaking revelation came when my ex had an affair with my cousin, a truth I discovered through a note he left on the counter. When I tried to contact him, my dad revealed that my cousin was pregnant, and my family wanted to keep the baby. In a state of shock, my dad instructed me to pack my things and leave. Devastated, I lived in my car for 2 weeks working at a 24-hour gym for shelter. My parents, my ex, no one reached out during those 2 weeks. When my dad appeared during my shift, demanding I sign divorce papers favoring my ex, who supposedly needed everything for the baby, I reached my breaking point. Leaving work, I found an attorney, handed him a copy of the signed papers, and urged him to expedite the divorce. I returned to work, requested my final paycheck, and chose a job at a different location out of state. Changing my cell phone number, I disappeared. About 5 days later, I discovered I was pregnant. Despite having a 3-month birth control shot, I was even more heartbroken. Assuming the pregnancy might lead to a miscarriage, I kept it to myself. The attorney later contacted me, providing a copy of my divorce and revealing that my parents had shown up, claiming my cousin had lied about the pregnancy, and my ex had abandoned her. I maintained no contact, focusing on securing a place to live. I now have a 2-bedroom apartment and have rebuilt my life, including preparations for my soon-to-arrive baby. My best friend, who is getting married soon and shares our conservative church background, wants me to be her maid of honor. I expressed my reluctance to face my parents or my ex's family. She offered to cover extra security costs, assuring me that I only need to stand by her during the ceremony. Regarding the vow ceremony, I had the option to attend last Monday and leave before the rehearsal. However, being 7 months pregnant, I haven't communicated with my ex or my parents about the baby. I'm torn between maintaining the no-contact stance or being there for my lifelong friend. Life has been stressful but good. My best friend sent me a video showing that my ex and grandma visited my best friend's parents' house, assuming I would be there too. The security cameras captured the conversation where grandma expressed concerns about making things right for the family. My family seems to use me when it suits their needs. Despite feeling like a tool, I have what I need for the baby, and I applied for 12 months of family leave at work. An update on the situation. After ghosting my family and deleting my social media, I received emails from the police and my friend. The police were notified of my situation, and my friend informed them about my email. This adds another layer to the complexities I'm dealing with. I have received several messages, mainly from my family, asking me to meet them in person to address their concerns and ensure that I'm okay. Despite going no contact, the police shared my email with them, causing a significant emotional strain. I'm hesitant to give them more information. My attorney intervened when my family showed up at the police station, expressing deep concern about my well-being and regret for pushing me to divorce my ex. However, my attorney firmly stated that I've chosen to go no contact, and they should respect that decision. My mom insisted that my behavior is unlike me, and they want to convey something to my ex. The attorney refrained from answering her questions, and the police officer instructed that I must be seen in person, prompting me to visit a random police station after work. Recently, my private investigator contacted me unexpectedly, even though my divorce is finalized. He discovered that my presumed father isn't my biological dad. My biological father died when I was 8 months old. Moreover, the home I grew up in is part of a trust in my name. Monthly rent payments were made by my mom, and the trust provided child support until I turned 28 or moved out. Unbeknownst to me, my mom didn't notify my grandmother, the trust executor, when I moved out. Feeling violated, I'm contemplating whether to ask my grandma to evict my mom. In a lunch meeting with her, she revealed that she didn't disclose details about my biological dad while I was a child, sending only pictures but denying visits. She's traveling to meet me and share baby pictures of me and my dad. It's a distressing situation, and I'm grappling with various emotions. I'm incredibly confused right now. My grandma and I decided to team up, and we're giving mom, stepdad, and the fake grandmother a 30-day notice. Also, they won't receive any more money from the trust. Grandma mentioned that the trust is now mine to use as needed. She's staying after the baby is born and asked if she could explore real estate options in my area. There's no pressure, but she suggested a 3 or 4 bedroom home so that her great-grandbaby can have a yard to play in. The house will be gifted to me from the trust since I missed out on birthday gifts over the years, as per the guidelines. As an update, my initial plan was to care for my son alone, but he was born prematurely last week with a few health issues. The good news is that he should lead a normal, healthy life, but surgeries are on the horizon this year. This leaves me no choice but to seek child support for medical bills. I consulted an attorney and provided all emails, texts, and letters from my ex-husband, and the attorney believes I may get full custody. The specialist note stating that my son needs to be fed by me as part of his treatment further strengthens my case. I'm nervous, but understand that I need to co-parent and go through court proceedings. However, I no longer trust my ex-husband. Any advice would be appreciated. My attorney will send the papers tomorrow. Grandma had to return to my home state and will be back in 3 weeks. I don't know when my ex will want to come. If he comes while my son is in the NICU, we can meet there. Doctors are considering sending him home with an oxygen monitor. If it's after he comes home, I'll ask my attorney to arrange a meeting in a conference room. I worry about my son getting sicker in public places and my ex being angry. I don't want him at my place, and I don't want to discuss what happened. Apologies if this is all over the place. My mind is on overdrive. My ex was given the opportunity to sign a notarized affidavit acknowledging he was the father of my son. According to my attorney, he promptly emailed a copy of the notarized papers within 20 minutes of receiving them. Although a DNA test is an option, it may not be necessary. Learning that my ex took emergency leave and was on his way to see me, I felt a sense of panic, anticipating a difficult encounter. My ex arrived just after midnight, visibly distressed, having lost weight, and showing signs of sleep deprivation. An awkward situation unfolded when my attorney left a message at his office, and my ex handed over the original affidavit to him early in the morning. Subsequently, they contacted me, and I'm currently residing in a room arranged by the hospital. Around 8 a.m., they came to the hospital. Retrieving my ex was an uncomfortable moment, yet I observed his sleep-deprived state. In the elevator, he questioned when I found out about the situation, to which I responded immediately after being forced out of my home. He inquired about my walking and standing, and I explained the discomfort from the emergency C-section. In the NICU room, I prepared to nurse my son with the assistance of the nurse, who emphasized the importance of nursing and the need to avoid stress for optimal milk supply. My ex, emotionally affected, observed the process and participated in changing our son's diaper. After feeding, I handed the baby to my ex, capturing emotional moments in pictures for a baby book. During our time together, my ex's phone kept ringing incessantly, but he dismissed it, emphasizing he wanted to focus on our son's health and our situation. He bombarded the nurse with numerous questions, demonstrating genuine concern. Eventually, we left our son to rest, and I shared the parent app with my ex. As we exited, I handed him the app, and he expressed a desire to talk about us and reconcile. However, I declined, stating the need for rest, and walked away. After leaving my room, I found my ex sleeping in a nearby waiting room close to the NICU. In the past, he would drop everything when his family called, but surprisingly, he didn't this time. I wondered if he planned to return when I needed to feed our son, or if he was waiting to talk to me. Despite sensing that he was holding back, it seemed the nurse's advice to avoid stress might be a factor. In the latest update to my hectic day, my cheating ex spent the entire day at the hospital, with his family bombarding him with calls. His grandmother was particularly upset over a video announcement revealing our son's name. She insisted that our baby's name needed to be changed immediately. I made it clear to X that we are simply co-parents and firmly rejected the idea of undergoing counseling despite his attempts to discuss our relationship. Little man faced challenges with his feeding pace, leading to X being asked to leave the NICU during the nurse's shift change. The NICU was exceptionally busy, and after completing the necessary classes, the doctors decided to discharge our son. I informed X not to visit the hospital the next day as our little one had been discharged the night before. I sent him pictures and informed him that I would consult my attorney to arrange a visit. When he inquired about seeing the baby again, I replied that I would message him the following day, feeling too exhausted to discuss it that night. X's late-night message conveyed love beyond our child and acknowledged his mistakes. Choosing not to respond immediately, I decided to share my feelings here first. Meanwhile, a pregnancy video I posted on our church's social media page caused some drama, with my cousin's mom urging me to take it down. In a surprising twist during a meeting, X suggested attending counseling for closure. I reiterated that there is no us. When he insisted on closure, I pointed out that I'm adopting the same approach he took months ago, choosing not to dwell on the past. While discussing our child's upcoming appointments, X's mother-in-law joined the conversation via FaceTime and praised him, suggesting that he should stay with me. I stood firm, citing my commitment to Christ and referencing a biblical story to justify my decision. Interestingly, my ex-father-in-law found humor in the situation and even planned to use it to defend against claims of being unchristian in the future. The complexities of the situation continued, with X persistently expressing his desire to reconcile through messages on the parenting app. Despite his efforts, I remained steadfast in my decision, having consistently rejected his requests for a reunion. As I navigate these challenges, I'm uncertain about the prospect of giving him another chance, especially considering his role as the father of our child.